Awesome. Hi everybody, welcome to training. We already started, so I'm just going to scoop right back on in. So today I basically woke up from my sleep and I was like getting ready. And I was like thinking about stuff and I got in a little bit of a funk. And I was a bit like, not a funk, but I was like, I had some pretty, I don't know, deep thoughts that weren't necessarily all really good. And I was a bit like, feeling a bit like, in myself. And I was like, why am I feeling like this? So the thought I had was that, like, I couldn't really describe the thought, to be honest with you, but I just felt a bit like I didn't belong. It's the best way I can use to describe it, in the sense that tonight I actually went to, earlier tonight I went to my friend's EP album launch, which is why I was late out of the venue. And then couldn't get any signal because I had no signal in the venue, then my phone would have worked, so I had to restart my phone twice. Anyway, here we are. But I went to this album launch and I didn't know anybody, and I went totally on my own. There's about 100, 120 people there maybe. And it was amazing, and actually the setup was perfect. So we kind of sat down straight away, so it was okay. And the guy the artist, the singer, he's actually a poet rapper. He's amazing. I'll link you to his album. So good. Comes out this week. So inspired and blown away by him. I know his manager. Me and his manager actually dated at the start of the year. Lol. He has two managers. I dated the cuter one. Oh, I'm joking. But we're really good friends still. I've worked on that relationship. I made sure we were friends. And I remember when I cut it off with him, he was like, "We can't be friends." And I was like, "We will be friends, watch." And I teach you that because I really want you to understand that in life, it's really much better if you don't hold a grudge, because if you hold a grudge, it actually does worse for you than it ever does for the other person, because they really have no idea how you feel, especially if you're not talking to them. But if you are in a situation where, something bad happens or anything like that, then you really, really just have grace in the situation, be someone you can look up to, and try really hard to be friends with someone, even if he did some things that I didn't agree with, that I actually was like, oh my god, this guy's ridiculous, I can't believe him. But you know what, actually I worked hard on that relationship and making sure we were friends. We even started dating again, or we were going to, and then he flopped again, and he effed up his chance again. So obviously it wasn't meant to be, and that's okay. But what I'm saying is, I still didn't hold a grudge against him, because I'm still friends with him now, and I would never have gone to his artist tonight if I had a grudge against him. And I went to the event tonight, and today I didn't want to go to the event. Today I woke up, I didn't want to go to the event. I was supposed to go to the gym, I didn't want to go to the gym, and I didn't want to go food shopping, and I was supposed to go to Hillsong, but because I woke up late, my timing didn't work out well, so I knew I wasn't going to go to Hillsong. Hillsong is a church, by the way, so it was really important to me that I tapped in some way to my faith today, and to God, to being grateful to where I am, because I've had a really rough year, as I know that many of you have. I spoke about this so much lately, and I still kind of am, because it's so fresh to me, but it feels so good right now, and I'm so grateful that I feel so good, because I really didn't feel very good for a while. So today what I did was I just felt like I didn't belong, because I felt like I'd invited so many different people to come with me tonight. Like in London, I don't really have a group of friends, but I have a lot of one-to-one friends. And I suppose another reason why I love this team is because I have a group of friends with this team. That's what I love about this team. Whereas when I do my Model Me events too, I love the fact that I'm creating a community there, and I love the fact that I'm creating a community in something, because I just don't have a circle of friends in London, and that's okay, that's totally fine, but sometimes it can really bog you down. So today was one of those days where it kind of really got to me, and I was a bit like, I don't really have a group of friends that I could just say, oh, let's go to Emmanuel's event, tonight, or let's go grab Sunday lunch, or let's go grab coffee, but then again, when you switch it, guys, and you change your perspective, actually, I'm better off than that, really, because I have so many one-to-one relationships with people, so many good friendships, people that I can call on at different times and different days, and we go for lunch, drinks, coffee, dinner, holidays even. You know what I mean? There are so many different friends I have that I can reach out to in different ways, but sometimes you just become a human and you forget, and you know, your perspective changes and you become like a bit moany and miserable. So basically today, that's how I was feeling. And I put on Hillsong's podcast on Apple. And the first podcast I played, I shit you not, was about this exact topic. So let me tell you, whatever you believe in this world, for me, it's God and it's Jesus. And like, He will find ways to work in your life, and He'll find the timing to put in your life when it's right. And whether you believe in that or you believe in the universe, like, call it whatever you like, but I strongly believe that. So today, I was listening to this podcast, and it said some things that were so true in my life that had just happened to me, but also, you know, that I'd gone through, and it was a madness. I'm not even joking. It was a madness, and I stopped the podcast. I recorded the screen and I sent it to one of my friends, who's like more like my mentor. Like, he's amazing. Excuse me. I showed it to him on the video, and I started crying the second time I heard it, because it really sunk in what they'd said, and I was like, oh my God, God is listening, and He always is listening. He's always there. And you know, I then really listened to the podcast, and I really listened to the rest of it, and I really was like, wow, isn't it amazing that, you know, this world that we're living in, this life that I'm currently leading, like how, you know, such terrible things seem to happen to me, and yet I feel like I screw up so many times as a human being, yet I always prevail, and I get up and I do what I need to do. So the podcast inspired me so much that I was like, stop being a little cow. So I went to go and shower. I got ready in my gym gear and I walked to the gym, grabbed some food on the way because I hadn't really eaten at home. Got to the gym, did a great workout. I was there for an hour and a half, and I did a big weights workout that I haven't done in a while. That was really amazing. And then I walked back home, went to Aldi on the way back, did a bit of a food shop. And then I basically got home, did a bit of work, got ready, and then left and went to my friend's event, right? So I went to my friend's event, and after this, sorry, I missed one of the points from the podcast. The podcast taught me many things. One of the things the podcast really taught me is that it is 150% okay to feel like you are on your own, and to feel like there's no one else like you, and to feel like you're the only person doing what you're doing. You know why? Because in the Bible, there are hundreds of people that came and went, you know, that came and lived and shared their stories that people thought were crazy. People thought, oh my God, like, here's Luke, the crazy guy. Like, I don't know if Luke was one of them, but I'm a Christian, but I'm really not good at like naming stuff from the Bible, so forgive me. But I just noticed, everyone knows what the Lad Bible is, right? The office I'm stood at is can you see this office? Really nice, very cute. There's an old like tram thing in there. I don't know, a tube, not a tram, sorry. Couldn't have sounded more foreign if I tried. The Lad Bible group is on the second floor. Mate, one day I'm just gonna walk in there, why not, eh? Now I know where it is. It's down the road from me. So what was I gonna say? So basically what this podcast taught me is that it's actually all right, guys. You know, it's all right. And you know what I learned about Barcelona is, baby, I'm creating my own blueprint, and there ain't no one that's gonna stop me. And it's amazing. Like, what I'm doing, no one's ever done before. Isn't that awesome? Instead of looking at it like there's no one like me, there aren't many people that I feel I can super connect with, or I don't have a group of people, a group of friends. You know what, guys? The enemy will play tricks with you, and he will get in your head if you let him. So you've got to be willing, when the enemy starts to trickle in, find that resource that's going to really help you tap back into who you are. So for me, it was Hillsong, and I actually listened to two podcasts, and it was awesome. I had a great time, and I was like in the gym. I didn't listen to it in the gym. I did music instead, like on the big speakers, and not in my headphones. And then I did another podcast on the way home because I was so inspired by this first podcast. And you know what? I sent it to my mum. I sent the first podcast, and I'm going to send the second one to my mum, because it really taught me a lot. It really, really taught me a lot. You know, sometimes we live in a world where people tell you, you know, you look at your mates. So, and you know what's so weirder, guys? The music event I went to tonight, my friend on stage, the musician himself, was talking. I mean, I know he thinks the same as me, like this is why I love him so much. But he was talking about this. He was talking about this idea that, you know, all your mates have nice trainers around you. I don't know if any of you like love the chunky trainer vibe on right now, but I love it. All these people around me have like nice chunky trainers, and like I don't, and it makes me want a pair. Like, and it's so true. Like, can you raise your hand or like comment if that's true for you? Because for me, it's so damn true. And actually, it's really interesting because when you realize that other people think that too, and that actually, like other people, like my friend Emmanuel, is kind of like on stage right now doing something that people have never done as a poet and a musician in this world, in this industry. Like, it's really, really amazing when you think about, like, actually, guys, if you do what other people haven't done before, then honey, you rocking it. Rachel's Recipes, guess what? I don't know anyone in Juice Plus that's done a cooking show. I don't know anyone. No one. And Rachel, out here, doing Rachel's Recipes. Rachel, I just want to do some training with you on that for a minute, if that's okay. I would like you to heavily promote this much more. You need to be posting in the Our Stories group, the customer support group, and the Allow Yourself to Dream group every Friday, please. And even the day before, you know, promoting the self-love one and then promoting the Rachel's Recipes one and posting it on your own wall, but also can you tag us all in it, the team, because it's such a good event, Rach, and I've tried to drive us into you. I've been trying for months, but really, that is such a good event, both of them, and no one else is doing that. So you are someone that I look at like you're a pioneer, you know? Like, and we all want to be pioneers. We all want to be leaders. You wouldn't join this team if you didn't want to be a leader. And maybe you only want to do, you know, 20% leadership, and that's okay. Like, but you know, I see so many of you NMD level. It's really, really possible. And you know, Rachel is one of these people that I really see it possible in because she's a pioneer in the fact that she is doing stuff that no one's ever done before. I've never done a show. I've never done a personal development show. In fact, the reason we do the personal development event now on Sunday night is because it inspired me, encouraged by Rachel, to now put on a you know, a make your environment empowering event because she was doing a self-love call, and I felt that there was more of a community with that than there ever has been on any one of our other calls, you know. And I also think that Rebecca has a really good idea here with the fitness thing. I don't know if we've definitely got it on the nail yet, Bex. I think there's a lot more things that we need to develop with it, and I still am trying to think of what it is. You know, more live workouts. So instead of doing it 1 week, like maybe interchange it. So one we do like live workout where you really got to promote it, and you've got to do it in your flat, you know, in your room, and so that the camera is in a place where you can see both of you. You do it to put in a vulnerable space, because I think that's what's really wonderful about Rachel and her event is she's allowed herself to be put in a vulnerable space. You know, she's been put on in the space, you know, where she's at home in her family home, you know, with her sister. She's asking her sister to help her out so her sister doesn't get upset. She's making sure that she's, you know, got some sort of camera set up. And lately she's been well teachable, and she's really listened to me when it's come to good camera quality, you know, good setting up with the camera so it's there, so you're not moving around like this all the time. That's why really I'm not doing the event now on the street, because we're so much more professional than that, you know. So, and I think with Rachel's with the Rebecca fitness event, there's so much more to be done with it. I think with Jessica's Hungry for More event, that should be our go-to presentation event every week, and we should really sell that more. The fact that, like, I love the name Hungry for More. For me, Hungry for More says so much about a group. It's just so much about a movement. It's so much about who we are as people. We're so hungry for more that we've even decided to create a presentation to tell people about why we're so hungry for more. For me, I love that. I think it speaks volumes. And I think that we're not looking at it in the way that we should be. We're not putting it on, you know, a big enough pedestal. We're just kind of going, yeah, it's another event. Actually, it's so much more than that. And I think that that's all of our faults, not just one person's fault. It's all of our faults. I think the fitness thing that you do, Bex, I think 1 week should be a live workout, and really allow yourself to be vulnerable. Allow yourself to be in a space where you're going to sweat with strangers, and you're going to look like an idiot sometimes, and you might fall over, and your cat's going to get in the way. And oh my God, like, cool, do that, you know. And the next week you could make shakes on a call, and you could talk about why the shakes are really important for fitness and why the capsules are really important for fitness, and you could get people to share their fitness stories. And then, you know, a week after, you could go, right, guys, today we're going to do a full presentation to help you understand how this call was created. You know, I think that what's happened is so many of you have just become so complacent with the events because we have so many. But actually, we have so many. Sorry, siren. You see it, but now I can't hear it. Okay. We have so many amazing events, and we're just not utilizing them. Oh my God. Sorry. We're just not utilizing them enough. We're really, really not. You know, we're really like, I actually, before the Sunday call, I mean, and maybe this is something you can all think about. Before the Sunday call, before the Make Your Environment Empowering event, this is what I do. I actually think about what I'm going to talk about. I make notes. I really prepare. Before I do training, I always prepare. Imagine, and make notes from me too. Imagine if you were doing training, right? Would you prepare for it or not? Like, would you prepare if you're about to go and train 7 people? Even if you're only gonna, even if you're only gonna go and train 1 person, baby, you gotta prepare. Come on, come on. We live in a world where preparation is key. It is key. So I really think, I mean, I feel kind of like a hypocrite doing that right now because I'm still in the street doing training, but I prepared my notes at least. So I really, really think that we should just really be like, let's just be really aware of who we are and what we're trying to represent, and, you know, actually stand up for and show up for who we really are. Like, let's really become a brand that people know about in 2019. Let's really be one of the leaders in our company in Juice Plus. Let's really be a leader on social media. Let's really be a group that people want to be part of. And I feel like, you know, we had so much fun in Barcelona. We had such a good time, and we had such a laugh. And I'm like, why are we not showing other people like how much of a laugh we're having? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. So, what else was I going to talk about today? I just need to dig into my brain. I don't want to close the Zoom app and go and check my notes, but I know it'll come to me. Oh, so the other thing I'm going to talk about is the new PDF document that I've been creating with Amelie. It'll be finished tonight. Amelie's made it, and we basically verbalized it together. She made it and designed it, but I'm going to create it and put it in our brand name because we have a logo now. Go us. So logo heaven means that we now have a logo to put and plaster over everything. And I'll tell you all the font type. I can't remember what the name is. It's Abril Fat Face. There you go. Don't know what happened in one day. Like the other week, I created the Model Me logo and the Healthy and Empowered logo in one day. It was bloody awesome. I was like, God. Anyway, so what was I going to say? What was I going to say? Oh, so the PDF thing that I've created with Amelie is basically something that you can send to potential customers. So it'll make much more sense when you see it. But basically, I can't remember what we're calling it. It's something like Transform Your Body in 2019. Not that, it's way more catchy. But it's very good, it's very cute. And basically, it's like a 7 to 10 page document that you can save and send to people. You could send it as pictures, or you can send it as I'll save it as pictures for you all, but I'll also save it as a PDF. I don't mind how you send it. It's totally up to you. I think what I could do is post snapshots of it on the Healthy and Empowered Instagram. And I'm more than okay with you guys to post it on your Instagrams too, and your social medias. Don't do it all at once, like do page by page maybe. So tease it a little bit so that people still feel like it's exclusive when they send it to them. But basically what we're doing is talking about how to really, like, we're talking about, you know, I'm gonna design it a bit better in the sense for us because we have the Training Think program, so I'm gonna go around that angle. But we're talking a little bit about the products. We don't really even mention, I think, that they're called Juice Plus, but I think I will in ours. But basically, we just talk about, you know, why the products are important, why they exist, why we believe in them, and then we talk about like how people can implement them into their lives. Top 5 tips to stay healthy over Christmas. You know, we've got like an example of like a cupboard food list, like good food to have in your cupboard, food that's healthy. We've got a couple of example recipes. So it's basically like giving people a shit ton of value already so that they can really, you know, really understand who we are and really like kind of like pay attention to us, you know, and actually see that we're giving value before they've even signed up as a customer. And then on the last page, we've given them an option. It basically says, it's a leading comment that basically says, okay, this is how to do it with us. And then there's 2 packages. One is called the Ultimate Body Package, which is basically shakes, omega, and premium capsules, and the other one is called Starting Strong in 2019, and that is fruit and veg capsules and shakes. So it's either £77 a month or it's 110, 120, whatever that. Yeah, it's like 115 for all 3 products. So if you think that's expensive, you need to reshape your mind, because guess what? You think it's expensive. Every single person that you try and sell to will think it's expensive. So you have to reshape that. For me, it's not expensive. It's an investment, and actually, it's a hell of a lot cheap. Going to something like Holland & Barrett, buying every single vitamin under the sun that you think is going to help you, buying every single organic fruit and vegetable. Like, it's not going to happen, guys. Like, it's really unrealistic to buy juices every day, to buy your coffee every day. Like, please think about this. Think about the fact that people can afford to spend, money on Christmas presents. So this is the best thing they could ever do for themselves. So please think about it. Christmas is not an excuse for us to slow down. It's an excuse for us to get a hell of a lot quicker. You know why? January is coming. Now is the time when you should be talking about your business more than you've ever spoken about ever. Like, I'm talking hardcore live videos, posting on Facebook, results, testimonials, stories, everything. Because on January the 1st, when they wake up in the morning and they say, you know what, I need to get healthy, the first person that they think about has to be you. If it's not you, goodbye, honey. She's going to go to Sally next door that does another product, or does Juice Plus, even worse, So you have to be first of mind, top of mind for every single person on your social media. And if you are not, then guess what? That is your fault. And that's because you decided you weren't going to work hard on your business in December. So it might sound like a bit being harsh, but sometimes you guys need it. So I think let's really pay attention to what we're talking about on our social media. If you're talking about cats and everything, still cool, great, but actually talk about the program as well now. Like, it's December, people want to look good for Christmas, but they also want to get ready for January. So I feel like the world now is in the most interesting time of our health that it's ever been. And what I mean by that is people now at Christmas aren't really, sure, people are like, yeah, I'm going to pick out and yeah, I'm going to eat, but people are already talking about now being healthy at Christmas, working out and what they can do to stay fit during Christmas. And especially in London, I'm hearing it a lot. And if I'm hearing it a lot in this big city, then it means that you guys are too. Because in London, people talk about things. And I think we talk about things more in London than we do anywhere else in the UK. But that doesn't mean people don't talk about it. It just means that people aren't openly talking about it enough. So you need to be that pioneer. You need to be that leader. You need to be that person that is saying, I do this and this is why I do it, blah, blah, blah. Like, really be proud of who you are. So I really want to get the podcast. I really want to get as many stories as we can on the podcast. Your story on the podcast can be 10 to 15 minutes. If it's a short story, then I will probably ask you a question or two. So don't worry. But I just really want to hear about you, a bit about where you're from, who you are, and then your product story. Not so much about the business, but you can mention the business, but it is more about your health. But actually, if you mention the business too, still, that's not a bad thing and it's not a bad idea. Like, you can 100%. But just be aware that it's fine. And if I feel like anything is missing, then I'm gonna definitely ask you guys questions and get people to talk about it. So, does anyone have any questions? I'm just gonna check my notes.
I have a question. I was like, I have a question, but I couldn't unmute. With the podcast interviews, are we mentioning Juice Plus, or are we just sticking to Healthy and Empowered?
Yeah, just stick to Healthy and Empowered.
Okay.
And then when they follow up with us, then you can tell them, let's be loud and proud about it, but let's just be careful about what we're loud and proud about on a public thing. Because the thing is, when we talk about, if we say, oh yeah, so it's called Juice Plus, they're just going to go on the website. They're not going to go on ours, on our Instagram or our personal page, which is really what we want. So you have to kind of be really careful. You have to be careful with that. It's better if we say it's Healthy and Empowered.
Okay. Thank you.
You are welcome. Anyone else? Questions? Anyone else feel like they need to kick ass in December, in this week? No, just me? No one else wants to kick ass?
Not me, obviously.
Okay, awesome. So let's just really do it. I mean, I don't really know what else I can say to you guys. Like, I'm trying to keep this short and sweet. Well, we've been have half an hour, so go home. You need to go to bed and do your thing. Totally fine. I understand. Anyway, but Rachel and Emma, if you guys can be available, so that we can do our three-way event just before we do the health proud event, that would be great. If anyone wants to know what the hell we're about, we're talking about basically a really good resource.
So we can't hear Tasha, but what she's saying is we're going to create a really useful resource that'll help other people to understand what it is that we're actually creating. So it's that thing where we've got one person talking about why it is that they've signed up, what it is that they're excited about, and then one person talking a little bit about the business opportunity, and somebody else talking about the product stories that we have, or the product information that we have, so that we can then just talk to people, and instead of overwhelming them and bombarding them with information, just be like, hey, we've just started doing these new presentations and I really value your opinion. If I sent it to you, would you take a look? And then we send it to them, and then within 15 minutes they have, like, in them 15 minutes they've got all the info that they need, and then they can just watch that, and then we can say, okay, well, what did you like best? So it kind of speeds up the entire process. I think everybody kind of knows about it on here, because I know me and Katie have decided it'd be a good idea if we did one on Wednesday at 5, and we were going to ask Becca if she would help us to do that, but I haven't got around to doing that, so I guess that was me asking. And I think she's wanting to do one with me and Emma tonight. What does she mean before the event? I'm not sure what event. Is there a... I think there might be an event in London, but my battery's about to die. But still, yes, it's going to be really good. I don't know where she's gone. Does anybody else have anything that they want to ask? Any questions or anything before we stop recording? Anything they want to say? No, okay. So I think we should stop recording now, because I just want to... I'm just really aware of